Hey, what's up? It's Tuesday. I'm Jim here for The Rough Cuts, and today's film is Bananas. Now, Bananas is Woody Allen's second film he directed. It's actually his third if you count What's Up Tiger Lily, but I don't really count that as directed in the traditional sense. So we're just going to say it's his second after Take the Money and Run. This young guy who tests products at a big corporation, like he tests a desk that like is a workout equipment also for the modern businessman, and he tests like a coffin that has headphones in it, and just like kind of an excuse for him to do goofy stuff. His early stuff is more influenced by someone like the Marx Brothers. Every scene feels like a gag, like a skit, you know. He falls in love with this girl, and she is an activist. She really believes in the revolution in San Marcos, which is a fictional South American country made up just for this movie. And she really believes in this cause, but he just kind of gets into it because of her. And then they break up. He was planning on going there with her, but then he's like, well, I have nothing going on, so I'm going to go to San Marcos. And he gets all wrapped up in the revolution and everything. Even though this film has a lot of executions and fights and violent battles, there's actually no blood in the whole film. Woody Allen felt that would hurt the lighter tone, which I kind of think it would have messed up the tone of this because it's very light, fun, wacky, silly comedy. It doesn't even have his regular kind of jazz score. It has more of it's like a stupid 60s comedy score, really. Even though this is made in 71, it feels like more of a 60s film to me, like a 60s comedy, but it's like a madcap, crazy, kooky comedy. You know, it's not as serious as I think people think of Woody Allen, although he's not all the time. I mean, he's a comedian and he writes comedies mostly, but I think this is a lot more juvenile than you expect from Woody Allen now. You know, now he's more mature adult. You know, this is pre-Annie Hall. This is only his second thing, and he's really more concerned. It's like a Marx Brothers movie in that it's really concerned with doing these gags and having a ton of jokes. The girl he falls in love with in this movie is actually, at the time he made this, they were already divorced, but they were married before. Woody Allen, he would call this is one of his early funny ones, and it is really funny and it's a lot of fun. And I like this and Take the Money and Run and Sleeper, or some of actually my more favorite Woody Allen movies. Not to say I don't like things like Annie Hall and Manhattan and all that. I like this period where he's like kind of silly and goofy, and this is really rough. You know, Woody Allen movies are usually pretty decently made and put together and everything, but this feels like they really made it on the fly with as little money as they could. It was like a struggling independent production. This is a comedy from 1971. The only thing that, even though I like it, I think it's a little dated, is the whole thing with Howard Cosell at the beginning and the end of the film. It's a parody of ABC's Wild Worlds of Sports, but doing like this kind of play-by-play thing. The thing with Howard Cosell is I never watched Howard Cosell growing up. Like, I know Howard Cosell from like footage I've seen in documentaries or archival footage. So I still get the Howard Cosell thing, but I think it's a lot funnier for like people like my dad, who actually rented this once for like I had like a sleepover or something. We rented a bunch of movies and we all kind of watched it, and I don't know if we really all got that into it. I think this was a little not the right choice, but you know, we still had fun, but it was like, maybe, I don't know, it was a little outside of our depth, I thought, at the time. Even when I was watching it, I don't really get this Howard Cosell thing. There's an appearance by a very young Sylvester Stallone as a subway thug. You will definitely see him. He's featured in one of the scenes. And he's a lot bulkier, but it's kind of funny. It's, whoa, Sylvester Stallone. It has a certain energy to it. I think early Woody Allen has a definitely different energy to it. Like, he just feels like he's young and bouncing off the walls with energy. You know, he feels a lot more subdued later. He seemed to have so much energy and so many ideas that he had to make all these different gags and scenarios. And even in Annie Hall, it's like a series of separate gags and separate little skits to make this longer film. And he's really like kind of good at that. But in this, since there's so many, it felt more like kind of a jokey, silly, almost what Family Guy is now kind of thing. So if you have seen Bananas and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe to The Rough Cuts if you haven't already. Subscribe to my main channel in the info box below. Follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, and potentially VHX. And follow Earl Barrett Holloway's Tumblr, who does the picture at the beginning and the end of this video. There's a poster of this in the Sunshine Theater in New York. It's always up for some reason.